What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay Renee, and we are back to talk about Married to Medicine, Season 9, Episode 5. And can I tell you something? This whole Golden Girls scenario, I like it. I'm gonna need them to get it together. Let's get into it, shall we? All right, y'all. So the episode starts with Eugene and Dr. Karen just going back and forth. Dr. Eugene and Dr. Karen going back and forth about this whole joke that him and Anila did. Now, y'all, let me tell y'all something. Eugene, if you weren't mad, you would have laughed at the joke, sir. I feel that Eugene is triggered over this whole situation. And this is an easy remedy, sir. My thing is, nobody is blind, okay? We see that y'all are moving literally every season. And nobody, if you anything like me, you hate moving. Okay, I done lived in my house for 6 years. I can't imagine packing this house up and constantly moving it. Like, so Eugene, chill out, bro. Like, it's not that serious. Like, I feel like Eugene is very triggered. I feel like he's taking his anger out on the wrong person. And yes, Dr. Kieran is supposed to be his friend, and the guys usually don't get into the drama of it all. But at the end of the day, like, if y'all are really so-called moving because you guys are flipping homes and whatnot, like I said in my last review, if you really are flipping homes, you have a home that's a foundation for you and your kids, especially since your kids are still young. Like, it's not like your kids are in college and it's okay for you and Toya to just keep on moving from house to house, and y'all are a part of this whole restructuring of a home, and then y'all moving on to the next house. Y'all are not nomads. So yeah, we see y'all. We know what the problem is, okay? You need to deal with your wife and not the people on the show that you're constantly getting angry with. But anyway, moving on. Dr. Karen basically apologizes and whatnot, but he still doubles down on it being funny. Eugene don't like that. So Karen says, well, I'm going to be a double MF. And Eugene says, call me an MF again. Starts from the last episode. And he says, no, he clears that up. Dr. Karen does. He says, no, I'm not calling you a MF. I'm saying that I'm the MF. So then Cecil kind of jumps in and he says, all right, do you think his apology is sincere, Eugene? And Eugene says, sure, I'll accept his apology. But his confessional with Toya, he's like, yeah, no, I don't accept his apology because it's not a real apology. I'll accept it when he actually apologizes and he's sincere about it. Like I said, y'all, I didn't think it was a big deal, but you know what? If y'all are moving for some reason, I can see why it's a big deal because it's cutting you deep. But it ain't that deep. But anyway, so then here we go. Dr. Damon, old little softy child, sounding like Barney, comes on in talking about some, well, uh, everybody shouldn't. Do you not have a plank in your eye? I'm like, you know what? You know what, Dr. Damon? You real cute. And you always, you know, you always being the peacemaker. I get it. And somebody needed to step in because this could have gotten totally out of control. Okay? So Dr. Damon says, there's nobody here that doesn't have a plank in their own eye. He says, all your wives have said not nice things about me, but I've grown thick skin and I haven't said anything, and I'm not going to react to your wives. I'm like, Damon, child, you and the voice, I don't know what to do. But it's the voice of reason, whether he sounds like Barney or not. Okay? But I get it. Like, y'all are sitting here going back and forth over some silly shit, but y'all wives are always talking about each and every one of y'all. So y'all, people have talked about Damon. They done said that he out here probably cheating on Heavenly and she covering it up. And everybody talking about everybody else cheating on somebody, child. Listen, all y'all talk shit about each other. It was a joke. Y'all need to move on. So anyway, the guys see where Damon is coming from. the peacemaker situation worked. And of course, Eugene has a lot of respect for, Dr. Damon, because he got him into this whole emergency medical situation because they used to work closely together. So everybody agrees to have a good old time. They do the axe throwing, and Eugene even actually says that, let me and Karen go first. So Karen continues to get the bullseye, child. Eugene just was throwing an axe. Cecil gets a couple bullseyes. All is good in the hood, okay? So moving on, Jackie has Heavenly come to her office, and Simone walks in. And both of them are looking at her like, I know you fucking lying. Did you just ambush us like them heifers ambushed me in Contessa's basement? So they're looking at each other like Simone is like, oh, you're here. And I'm like, Simone, let's not play this little game. I know you saw her car outside. Because I know she ain't walked there or catch a bus or a Uber. So you had to have known that she was in there. So anyway, Jackie is like, you know what? I like this. I like all three of us being together. So they're sitting down and they're talking and whatnot. And Jackie proposes a trip to Vegas. And she wants all three of them to coordinate it as a group together. And so Simone said, so did you forget that nobody likes this bitch over here? And Heavenly says, I done cleaned up my dirty laundry. Okay, I went and talked to Toya. I apologized to her. We had a nice little conversation. I went on and I apologized to Quad. And I even texted Contessa. She ain't respond yet, but I did text her. So Simone was like, okay, well, all right, what we got to do? So they talk about the trip and whatnot and how they're going to set it up. And they're just going to get the ladies together to have a good old time. So moving on. Anila brings pizza and dinner to Dr. Karen's office. Now, child, you ain't cooked no dinner to take to this. All right, pizza's good too. I'm not gonna come for her, but she did say she been giving the kids pizza and pretty much takeout every night because she don't have time to cook. I just want to know, what is Anila doing all day? I don't understand. And everybody wants to talk about, yeah, people shouldn't just put it on moms to be doing all this. Listen, when you are a stay-at-home mom and that's the job that you decide to take on, the kids are your main responsibility. You decided to have these kids, okay? So they are now your responsibility. They are little people that can't take care of themselves. So you complaining that the kids are, a hardship, if you will, to you being able to go out and frolic in the land of Galilee and do whatever you want is really challenging for me. Y'all don't know this about me, but my mother was a stay-at-home mom. We didn't want for anything. And quiet as it's kept, I didn't never have to clean my room till I was 18 because that's how neat and clean my mama was. She was the goat of stay-at-home moms. You hear me? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner cooked and tasty. All right? My dad had his bath water run every day when he came home from work after working 3 jobs to take care of me and my 2 brothers and my mama. So yeah, being a stay-at-home mom, it ain't easy. But it can be done. You have to prioritize yourself. My mother never missed any events. She was at everything that we did. She was always in our corner. And then when we got older, my mother even actually helped. My dad ended up getting his own business, and my mother was helping him in his business and taking care of us. So it can be done. So it bothers me to see a woman that is so affluent, right, having such a problem. It screams, I want to do what I want to do. And I just, I loved it the way it was when Miss Gomez was here. When Miss Gomez was here, I could just drop, say F them kids, go do my videos and whatnot and live my daily life and do what I want to do. I could just pick up and go. And it's a change, of course. Like, that's a huge change in your life. But you need to start embracing it instead of looking at the kids like, it's like every time she looks at her kids, she gets flustered like they're a burden. And I'm like, girl, your husband makes a whole shit ton of money. Like, knock it off, make it happen, and make it work. Okay. So anyway, y'all, she comes to the office with the pizza chow and a big ass bottle of bourbon. And Karen is like, now who the hell you think gonna drink that? I'm a doctor and I'm in my office. So how that look? I'm in here chugging this big old bottle of alcohol. She's like, well, it's after hours. I'm like, girl, he can't have that bottle in there. Girl. Anyway, so they sit down and talk, and she's like, I'm really having trouble finding nannies. He's like, just find a nanny, like, because she's complaining about having to be a mom and whatnot. So Karen is like, we need to just really amp up the efforts to try to find a nanny. She's like, well, I have been interviewing nannies, but I really just don't like the ones that I found. And then she hits him with the, can my mama and my daddy come stay with us, because they the ones I really trust. And I get it. She does love her children while she's looking at them like a burden and a hardship right now. She do love them and want to protect them. So she don't want to just leave them with anybody. And I get that. But Karen is looking at her like, oh my God. So now I got to deal with your damn parents. Come here. I'm on the clock, working all day. And now I got to come home to you and your parents. This ain't gonna be good for me, but you know what? You like it. I'm gonna learn to love it. Okay. So he says, let's do a trial period of your parents coming, but I really want you to ramp up them efforts of looking for a nanny, because he really don't want this to be no permanent situation. But good for him. He did say that at the beginning of COVID, of the C-19, he was having issues keeping parents and patients, and his business was kind of slow. But now things have ramped up and his efforts have gone, further, and now they're almost to full capacity like they were previously. Okay. So now they in the next scene, Contessa's trainer comes over, and whatever. Then he measuring her body to make sure that she can do this contest and whatnot. Layla comes in there and she's like, "Don't be touching my mama." And she was mad that the trainer then threw out all her snacks. So Contessa was like, looking at the diet, and she's like, "Well, is this a suggestion, or is this something that I can kind of like, use it as a guide and do what I want?" He's like, "No, this is, you better do this, and it's the only way you're going to even contend at all." And so she's looking at him like she don't like nobody telling her what to do. I'm like, Contessa, you really want to win this competition or even do the right thing? And she's like, well, I'm about to go on vacation, and I don't want to be talking about I don't want to be that person. It's like, I can't eat this, I can't eat that. Which lies, because you did it at the table. You took the first chance you could to say something about, child, we're gonna get into that when we get into it. But anyway, Layla mad that Sir threw out her Halloween candy, child. So he is not her friend. Moving on, let's get into these comments before we go on. Is that y'all? Did I scroll past Jessica with a K? Is she in the building? Yes, she is. Hey Shay, what's up, Jessica with the K? What's going on? Sunshine 488 says, "Hey Shay, I just DM you on IG about hotel wine commercial. Please go live about that." And I will. Thank you, sis, for the tea and the information, because I will oblige. I want Mariah back 100%. Absolutely. Because she will not come down off of her chariot and throw tomatoes with you. Okay. Jessica with the K says, "I'm here for Karen." I am too, because listen, it was a funny joke. They need to get over it. Jessica with the K says, "I was in a live with Dr. Heavenly, and she said Contessa brought her child Layla down there and yelled that Heavenly was the reason their marriage almost ended. That was edited out." Yeah, I saw that live too, and I just thought that was very tasteless. Like, why are you involving your kid? Like, Layla is she is full of personality, a very adorable little girl, but she doesn't need to be involved in her parents' affairs. Like, that's just trashy. I don't like that. Jessica with the K says she also said the argument was worse than what aired. There was pushing, etc. But Dr. Heavenly said the network tries to protect the ladies. Yeah, child, because they done got so much bad press in the past about people fighting and whatnot. So they not trying to have that shown. They being real good in the editing room, I will say. Yeah, because I heard somebody pushed Anila or something like that. So yeah, child, I don't know. Allegedly. Jessica with the K says, "I just want to know what was going on with Anila's eye makeup in the scene where she brought the bourbon. And am I the only one who noticed?" Child, she probably had some of that daggone bourbon before she came in there quiet as a scap. She may have turned the top and had a little drop. Okay. Let's get into it. So Heavenly has Audra over her house. If y'all remember, what they introduced Audra In the first episode, her and her husband came to the party that I think Cecil and Simone had. So now she's going to get some more camera time. And child, I'm gonna let y'all know, Miss Audra is one we need to pay attention to, because she gonna come with it at the rest in the rest of this season. Okay, I cannot wait to see her interactions. Pay attention to her and Toya specifically. Okay. They talk about the Vegas trip, and Audra basically says, I heard about what happened at this party with, I guess talking about, no, she said, I heard about what happened with this ambush, like what happened. So Heavenly basically explains to her how all the ladies ambushed her about her YouTube channel and whatnot, and how she was really hurt over it, and she didn't really like it, and she's really hurt the most by Contessa, because her and Contessa were the closest. So she doesn't really understand. She's really trying to process it and really manage her feelings well and figure out how she's going to apologize to her, because she texted her, but she wants to actually have a real conversation with her and apologize to her properly, but also understand, like, why did she do that? Like, where did that come from? So then Audra says, where do you go from here? Like, after you do that. So again, that was when she talked about um having her come to, Vegas with them, Audra, that is, thanking her for coming and saying she just wants to apologize. And Audra says, well, what if you get into a fight? And Heavenly says, well, I ain't had my ASS whooped in a while, child. So we gonna see. So Contessa is packing. She's trying her clothes on Layla and whatnot, and she reads Heavenly's text out loud in her confessional. Sorry, y'all, I ain't typed what the text said, but y'all watch the episode, y'all know. And she basically says that she has a problem with Heavenly's text, because she's always tearing people down in public but wants to apologize in private. Child, Contessa, I'm not even gonna go into that. Like, this whole situation with Contessa, is Heavenly wrong for bashing her on her YouTube channel? Yes. Was Contessa on the YouTube channel? Absolutely. Okay. But from what I've seen, y'all, I gotta be honest. If Contessa didn't want Heavenly to talk about her on her channel, that should have been something that was discussed. But when you're doing commentary and stuff like this, you got to be very careful about, especially if you're doing commentary and you're actually on one of the shows. That's just like if me doing commentary now and I'm talking to y'all and I was to get on a reality TV show, right? If I was to come here and talk about my specific show with you guys like I normally do, they met me like this, right? So this will be my career. I've already been doing it. And if I'm on the show as a YouTube blogger, right, then that would make sense. But if y'all didn't meet me like this, and then we get on the show, I get on there for another reason because I'm affluent, and then I start doing this, it's not right. Because now, yes, y'all talk trash about each other on the show. Leave that on the show for y'all to be able to talk about it amongst each other. But when you're going on here, it looks like you're going behind their back talking crap about them. So you just got to be very careful when you're trying to review a show and you're actually on it. Okay, I hope that makes sense what I'm trying to convey. But I also don't think that Contessa should be this upset. I do feel like in my heart of hearts, Contessa is using Heavenly as a storyline, period. So the ladies arrive for the trip. To get on the plane to go on the trip. So there's only 7 rooms. So Jackie decides that she's going to share the presidential suite, if you will. They didn't know it was a presidential suite till they got there, child. But she's going to share with Simone, and then Heavenly will have her own room. And Heavenly believes that Jackie did that because she wants to keep the peace. She don't want Simone to now relapse back into the I don't want to be your friend no more because you taking Heavenly over me jargon. Okay. And I get it. It's very strategic and it makes sense. But Jackie said on Watch What Happens Live that she did that because whatever happens in the presidential suite stays in the presidential suite. And she didn't want Heavenly in there to be out there telling everybody. I was like, that was cute, Jackie, but what the hell you gonna be doing? Because quiet as it's kept, you ain't even did no 69. I don't think Jackie sucked the dick. So ain't nothing happening in that suite that anybody need to know about. But moving on. Everybody arrives in Vegas. They get on the party bus. Anila and Audra is twerking, child. And Anila, this jumpsuit, honey, Audra looked real cute. She had the body for the jumpsuit. That's all I'm gonna say. So they get on the party bus, And Jackie don't have no alcohol on the party bus. Jackie, this is Vegas, baby. Why we don't have no alcohol on the party bus, sis? I know you don't drink and you down with the get down with the water, child. You wants to drink the Avion and what's another one? Another little bougie water, the Fiji and whatnot. But we want some alcohol when we in Vegas. Okay, this is Sin City. We wants to drink. We wants to have a good old time. Okay. And yes, alcohol may not be your thing to get you all turned up. But the other ladies, they needs that. So you could have had some, yeah, you should have had some alcohol on that bus. I'm not even gonna hold you. So they arrive at the hotel, and since Jackie ain't had no drinks on that bus, they rush to the bar, child, and get them some drinks. So they toast to learning a lot about friendships and having a good vacation. Now y'all know that is a damn lie. Okay. So they get to the presidential suite. Everybody loves Jackie and Simone's room. Heavenly goes in playfully goes into Jackie's room, and then she goes into Simone's room and says, "We're gonna sleep together. I'm staying in here with you." And Simone says, "Girl, now I know you. We don't even get along like that, sis. Let's not even try it." So Heavenly says, "Give me a hug. So stop playing around." And Simone's like, "No, but I'm serious. You're not sleeping in here. You do know that." You do know that. Let's not play games. You're not sleeping in here. Go to your room, and that's what we're going to do. Okay. But I love that. That was a cute little moment with them. And I hope that they can, grow in their friendship and whatnot, because I don't even understand why they don't even like each other. I think it's silly. So moving on, the ladies eat and Jackie gives them their room keys. Contessa is being so extra. She's talking about what she can't eat when she said with the trainer she wasn't going to be that girl talking about, well, I can't eat this and I can't eat that. Well, you actually are. You're being that girl right now. So you're drawing attention to yourself. So now everybody like, well, why you can't eat this, girl? What you doing? So now you can tell everybody about you. Mind you, she should have just did a blanket statement. Listen, y'all, I can't eat nothing on this vacation. Okay, I'm measuring my alcohol and whatnot. So I ain't trying to look all extra in front of y'all, but I'm trying to do this fitness contest. And I'm gonna need y'all to be my supporters. Okay. I would have rather her just do that. Now you just doing stuff for attention. But anyway, moving on. They talk about playing a game. Of never have I ever or whatever. And Contessa yells out, talking about, ain't nobody gonna be honest in this group, ain't nobody transparent. And I'm like, girl, can you take your voice down like 20 octaves? You always yelling. Like, why are you always yelling and being so extra forceful with people? Like, it's really ridiculous. So moving on. Toya says, why is Jackie not drinking? She always gets away with it. And Jackie is drinking ginger beer. So Audra defends her and says she doesn't have to drink. If she doesn't drink, then she doesn't have to drink. Like, why are you being pressed about her drinking? And Toya goes on to say, well, you're not a good lawyer because that's not a good defense. She needs to drink. Jackie is like, in her confessional, I don't need to drink to have fun. And Toya, you know what? Do you, and while you doing you, don't do me. Mind me. Mind your business. That's all you need to do. Okay. Don't worry about me. Do what you're doing. And I get it. She doesn't drink. Like, I have a very close friend that doesn't drink. I'm not out when we're out. I'm not like, girl, just taste this. It's okay. And it's not like she's a recovering alcoholic or anything. She just doesn't want to drink. She's like, it's not my thing. So I don't force her to drink. I think that's very petty and tacky to be trying to force somebody to drink alcohol. Like, let her be high in her own way. Okay. And that's that on that. So with her telling, Audra really said, I know you ain't coming for my career because I'm a daggone good lawyer. So Audra says, I definitely am a damn good lawyer, a damn good attorney, and you don't know me as an attorney. And Jackie says, why is she worrying about me drinking anyway? Leave me alone. And Anila says, let's just play the game, okay? Because she want to move on from the drama. So Simone says, never have I ever beat my kids, ASS. Y'all, we got the limited curse words, so I'm really trying to be cognitive, okay? So then only Simone and Contessa drink, okay? Anila then asks if they never have I ever had a threesome, okay? Nobody drinks, and then Contessa says she never did, but then she drinks. So Heavenly says that's because that be lying. Because people were like, well, if you never did it, why are you drinking right now? That's one of those things where I'm gonna pretend like I didn't do it, but I'm gonna go ahead and drink. She was like, oh no, I was just thirsty. Girl, quiet as it's kept, I think Contessa like women anyway, because the way she act, it's just real extra. But whatever. And it further lets me know that in this last comment that she made, we gonna get into. Okay. So nobody drinks. Them heifers is lying. Heavenly Anila says, never have I ever did a 69. Everybody drinks but Jackie. And Jackie says, they were like, girl, you ain't did no 69. Like, what happened? Why? And she's like, well, Curtis is tall. Like, our torsos just don't line up. I find it hard to believe that Jackie even tried. Yep. Because no matter how tall, listen, y'all, okay. I'm not a freak or anything, but I am married and we try some things. And it can be done. It can be done. Try it out, Jackie. Just try it out. Okay, because that way you'll keep Curtis about the streets taking pictures with other broads. Okay, I'm just saying. Maybe he done learned his lesson, child, but maybe if you try a couple things, surprise Mr. Curtis, okay? You might find that you can actually do it. All right. And I know Jackie probably, y'all think Jackie boring. Actually, I did too. But she knows so much about the vajayjay. I'm pretty sure she knows how to do some tricks with hers. I'm just saying. But moving on. Anila says, never have I ever cheated on a boyfriend. And most everybody drinks. So then they say, never have I ever sent a vagine pic. Okay. And Quad says, Quad breaks in and says, you know what? I know this ain't the question, but I hate dick pics. I can't stand them. And Quad, I would have to agree with you, sis. I can't stand, okay? When I used to date before me and my husband got married, now mind you, y'all, we've been together for it'll be 19 years in October, okay? But there were times when we had little breaks. But when I was dating and people would send me involuntary the D pics, I hated it because what you're doing, sir, is letting me know that that's all you have to offer. You don't even know my middle name and you're sending me a D pic. Yeah, I don't want to see your D, sir. Keep it in your pants. And when it's time for it to be a Jack in the Box situation, we will observe that. But right now, nah, keep your D pic. So Contessa was like, oh, I get them all the time. I even get vagine pics. I'm like, why are women sending you their hoo-ha, Contessa? Okay. But and you looking at them. Mm-hmm. Contessa, do we need to talk about your sexuality? I'm just saying. Okay. And that's the end of the episode. All right. Thank y'all for watching. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody else that's watching it too. Hold on. I got to get to my comments. I see some other stuff. And I see my girls are commenting. So I got to put them on screen. I just want to know, Jessica with the K says, I just want to know what was going on with the we talked about that. I believe Dr. Jackie has to be doing a freaky thing or two to be married to Curtis. Curtis gives me freak vibes. He also gives me the ick, but I digress. And I agree. Okay. Sunshine 488 says, wow, congrats to 19 years, sis. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, child. We're going to celebrate 10 years of marriage next year. And we're going to do something amazing. I'm going to do a little vlog for y'all and everything. So, yeah, stay tuned. Stay tuned. The Ingrams of it all. All right. But again, that is the end. I ain't got no more. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. Please, 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 again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check down in the description box. Get you an Express Yourself t-shirt and visit healisticthings.com where you are healing beyond the prescription pad and support. All right. Thank y'all so much and have a great evening. Peace out.